Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip, and this is the word according to me. And we are 1 week removed from WrestleMania, and just kind of sitting around thinking about what went down around WrestleMania was in the main event with Lesnar and Reigns, and I can't I can't can't keep stop thinking about it. And there are many reasons for it, but I think one of the biggest reasons is just the fact that Roman Reigns didn't win, and that still is like a mind blowing to me that he did not win this match. And there had been some, and I think some people would say that the WWE had a Roman Reigns problem, where you had the fans not wanting to cheer for Roman Reigns. Majority of us didn't want to cheer for Roman Reigns because he wasn't the guy, and he wasn't the guy that they want. But I feel that WWE, they're coming upon a new Roman Reigns problem. And that's the fact that the guy that they have seemed to want to be the guy could just be becoming a guy. And that's that's the truth, because he did not win. Right, he did not win at WrestleMania. We just talked about that, right? But then they had him come out on stage and Monday, and not on stage but in the ring, and then him shoot the promo, whether it was real or whether it was or it wasn't, and they were trying to shoot everybody. I mean, that's not getting them over. That really isn't. That's not getting them, or getting them even more over. It's really is just, it's amazing to me what what they've done with him. It really is, because I was certain, after WrestleMania 31 and everything that went down, and that's when it really started. At least I believe it, and I believe this is the case, right? We had the whole thing with Daniel Bryan, and the crowd wanted to get behind Daniel Bryan and everything like that. Daniel Bryan wasn't in the Royal Rumble that year, the other year, WrestleMania 30. He wasn't in that Royal Rumble, and what they decided to do was they decided to, go ahead and go about it kind of the wrong way, and in that Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns had a great performance. He threw out the most, and you can tell by then that they knew, they wanted to do something big with Roman Reigns, right? But and if you have been a fan of wrestling, at least a fan of the WWF for as long as I have, which is practically my whole life. You know what Vince likes. You know what Triple H likes, and that was the perfect. He was the perfect one. He's that, good-looking, well-built, looking dude that could get, that was powerful. And that's exactly what, it's exactly what they like. And so you can tell from the very beginning when the Shield debuted who they were going to make, the guy. tell that from day one. And that Royal Rumble kind of proved it. But like I was saying, Daniel Bryan wasn't in that Royal Rumble. They booed him, and then we had the whole cancel WWE Network thing and everything like that. And so they basically they changed the way they were going to go, and they made Daniel Bryan a part of it, and they gave him a shot, right? They gave him a shot. They put the title on him at WrestleMania 30, and then he got hurt after that. He got hurt, and so then they went into so then once once Daniel Bryan got hurt, they rightfully so decided that they were going to go down another direction. And I'm not saying rightfully so because of anything that, I'm not saying that Daniel Bryan doesn't deserve it. Daniel Bryan doesn't deserve another chance or anything like that. I'm not taking any shot at Daniel Bryan, but they need to go down the direction that they feel is best. And that was to make Roman Reigns the next big thing. And that's exactly what the road they went down. And because of that, fans started to say, no, Daniel Bryan's still around. We can't do this. So we've had to make our voice heard, thinking that they were going to do it again, and they did not. And they decided to go with who they went with, and that's exactly who they did. I'm not sure if there's ever been a time in wrestling where WWE, WWF has ever put the title on somebody that the fans were like clamoring for. Usually what it was that the WWE helped make the guy, and the fans are just really turned on that, and it's kind of crazy. And I think the biggest thing is that it's a lot of fans have really become entitled when it comes to WWE. They really have, and in wrestling in general, they really are. They really just think that that promoters and owners and bookers should just cater to each and every one of their needs. And it's really just, it's kind of sickening, and it's probably a little bit of this whole millennial deal and everything like that. But it's a little bit of the WWE's fault too, because they really had some other chances to try to get Roman Reigns over better. There's everybody talks about the suffering succotash and everything like that, and that didn't work. It could have gone a totally different way. But I think, and one thing I think that John Cena said is, I think John Cena said it because it was probably partly true, was because that they saw that WWE just trying to make another John Cena. They wasn't trying to see WWE make a Roman Reigns. And I think that's the reason that it went down like that, because it wasn't that I'm just flustered. I'm flustered and I'm frustrated because I just going back over what they did and what they could have done was just it's just it is incredible. So then you get the whole thing. They do the whole thing with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31. They have Seth Rollins cash in. Okay, that's fine. They have Seth Rollins cash in. And I actually think that maybe that was I think that was the better move. I think in hindsight, when I was thinking back then, I was wondering, really, you know, but maybe in hindsight that was a better move because that did give them another year to try to get Roman Reigns, you know, try to get the fans on Roman Reigns' side. You know, they had already kind of shown that they were putting Daniel Bryan to the back. They gave him the Intercontinental title, you know, so they were kind of saying that we're going to put Roman Reigns to the side. We're going to put Daniel Bryan to the side. He's still going to be a big part of our company. He's the Intercontinental champion. And then, of course, you know, Bryan got hurt and injured and then had to retire. So, but they did all of that, and then Rollins got hurt, and then they put the title on there, and they did a whole thing with Sheamus, the Money in the Bank, and everything like that. So then they decided to try and do the thing and have Triple H be the guy that would, you know, maybe get Roman Reigns over, and that didn't work either. That really didn't work either. I don't think people wanted to see Triple H. People wanted to see anybody other than Roman have the title, but people didn't want to see. I don't think people wanted to see Triple H really have it. It really didn't. It really wasn't. And the match they had at WrestleMania 32 wasn't that great. It really wasn't. It was kind of long and kind of boring, and it really just was. And so then they put the title on him, and then I think here was their first big mistake is that he's a champion, and fans kind of are turning on him. Why didn't you just turn him heel? He came out and said, "I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy." You know, and I kind of think that was a good slogan for him. I do think that was a kind of a good slogan. I kind of think that was the right way to go, you know, about it. But they should have had him turn heel. And then even with the whole PED thing directly afterwards, right? You know, he gets when he comes back. Why wasn't that a time to have him become a heel? You know that whole period after WrestleMania should have been building up to him making some type of heel turn. Especially like when Dean Ambrose is the champion. That's perfect, right? Dean Ambrose is taking your title. Turn on him. It does not happen. So I just don't know what it is. And then, you know, so then they do all of that, and you know, and they have to quote unquote punish, you know, Reigns for his thing. So he doesn't get the Universal Championship when they create another championship, which was just stupid to begin with. And I may do another video on all of that, on all the other titles. Just, you know, I gotta, you know, but anyway. But then they go ahead and then they do, like, you know, and then, you know, so then they put the title on the United States title on him. And once again, I think John Cena said it correctly. You know, I think that yes, they put the United States title on him. And I think he did think that it was some type of, you know, some type of, you know, take back. I think maybe he kind of felt that way. You know, and you know, he didn't defend it, which partly isn't his fault. He, you know, I'm not sure if he should say, but should not, you know, even though when he gets the matches for Raw or for a pay-per-view or something like that. I don't know if he should be going to say, well, should not be defending the United States title in this match. I don't know if he should be saying it. If I was, that's what I would be saying, you know. But, you know, but that's what not he, you know, but you know, he didn't do it, and he did. I think he did take it back as a thing, and then once again they still didn't, you know, and then once again they said, okay, so let's try and rebuild him up again, right? So it's like, we're gonna you know, just tear him down in the way that they really kind of didn't only tear him down. I don't know, but then we're gonna try to build him back up. And they go through this, you know, and so he goes through all of this. Then he loses his title match to Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble, and and then he's number 30th. And if you go on YouTube, if you go on here on YouTube and you just search, you know, Roman Reigns number 30th Royal Rumble reaction, the reactions are priceless. The reactions are priceless. But he doesn't win. Randy Orton wins. Which again, it's this weird thing where the crowd cheers because it isn't Roman, but then in a couple minutes it goes, oh, but it's Randy Orton. you know, and it's so then they're heading the way of Undertaker and Roman Reigns, and this was good, and you know, I didn't think that you didn't know. You didn't know how this was going to go. You thought Roman Reigns might win because of the stuff you were hearing about Undertaker's last match, but you still didn't know. Undertaker is probably is one of the guys, and maybe he's probably the only guy that you would say in this business doesn't need to do the favors on his way out. He's probably the only guy that doesn't need to do the favors on his way out. He doesn't need to lose to push, you know, give the rub to the next guy. Undertaker could have beat Roman Reigns and could have walked out, you know, and it wouldn't have been, you know, anything. They probably would have had another whole total problem on their hands. The problem that I'm getting ready to talk about in a few minutes is probably the problem that they would have had last year, but nevertheless, but Roman Reigns goes and he beats Undertaker. Again, the match wasn't that great, but again, what I'm talking about is that there are, you know, I don't think that's Roman Reigns' fault. Roman Reigns is a fantastic worker. Is he the best worker in the WWE? No, I don't think so. I think he's probably top 5 or just out of the top 5, maybe the number, just barely number 6, but he's up there. He's the best. That's why he really is the guy. If you know, if they didn't think he was going to become a better worker, and he has improved over each and every year, he's gotten better and better with what he does, then they wasn't going to, you know, yeah, they would have, you know, run away a while ago. So yeah, so they you know, so he has a match with Undertaker that is not great, and then he goes, and now he comes out on Monday Night Raw, and it's the Raw after Mania, and everybody is just, you know, and they're doing everything. They're doing this shut the fuck up chants. They're doing you suck, and you know, and they are loudly booing anytime he puts it up to the microphone. And even one point he even goes, "I have it in the palm of my hand," you know, and it is, and then he has that thing that was in, "This is my yard now," and drops the mic and goes off, and great moment. Maybe not maybe not his best promo, but maybe his most impactful promo. And at that point, they, and at that point, again, you ask the question, why wasn't that the heel turn? That would have been a perfect way for him to have the heel turn, right? That would have been a perfect way for him to have the heel turn. But instead, what they decided to do was, and this is where probably the problem really started, what they decided to do is they probably decided to use Roman. It decided to use Roman and in any type of thing that Roman has, right? And they decided to use Roman as like this, as this thing to help get other people over, right? They decided to use Roman to get other people over, which is fine. But again, you know, he had this long program with Braun Strowman. He had a match at the February pay-per-view, which was Fastlane, in which he beat Braun Strowman. And then Braun Strowman, I'm not finished with you. And then Braun Strowman, like every other match of that, Braun Strowman beat Roman Reigns. Every match. You know, Samoa Joe is up there, and then he passes out in Samoa Joe's Coquina Clutch. He's done all of this, and really, and it becomes this weird thing where all the fans know that you want him to be the guy, and then you're beating him, and you're beating him really for no reason. For no reason. You're beating him to like almost as in a trolling way to say, see, Roman Reigns doesn't win all the time. Cheer him, and no, that's not. Why are you doing this? No, that's not the way to go. So then you go through let's go through the entire year, and then let's talk about Lesnar actually for a second. Because Lesnar beats Goldberg at WrestleMania 33, and he wins the Universal Championship. And then the same Monday after Raw, he sits and he talks about, you know, the matches that he wants to have, and you know, and he talks about, you know, him and Roman Reigns, the two in 23-2. You know, Lesnar and Reigns, the other two in 23-2, and they talk about, and so, you know, from right then and there, you know, you pretty much knew what they were heading for. They were heading for WrestleMania 34, New Orleans, Lesnar and against Reigns, and you knew that was pretty much going to happen. Now, you did not see Braun Strowman becoming as popular and as good in the ring as he became. So there were times when you thought maybe that, especially when they had their match, Lesnar against Strowman, you kind of thought maybe, you know, Strowman had to have a chance to get the title, but it wasn't. It was leading up to Lesnar and Reigns, and that's the way it was going to be. And you did all of this, and you kind of, you know, you knew that's the way it was going, but then you still told him like he doesn't win the Royal Rumble. You know, but you have him win you could have had Shinsuke, you could have did the exact, you could have had Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble, and then you could have had Shinsuke Nakamura win a match at the Fastlane with SmackDown for him to go against AJ Styles. Didn't have to have, you know, they did it again just because we didn't let Roman Reigns win, and again it's like, you know, you're doing this and so this all leads up to, of course, Sunday with WrestleMania and Roman Reigns not winning the championship, and it's once again, it's one of those things where, see, we didn't let Roman Reigns win. Now, there are a couple of rumors out there and a couple of theories out there. I have three. One, you know, I think it very well could have been rumored that I think that Dave Meltzer, you know, put in his newsletter, or you know, that he had heard that they changed mid-match. Reigns was supposed to go over, but they changed mid-match once the crowd started shitting all over they started shitting all over the match. They changed it so that, you know, they were, you know, so that whether or not Lesnar signed or not, his, you know, Reigns' coronation could be in a more conducive environment, i.e., at this greatest Royal Rumble thing special that they're doing over in Saudi Arabia, and where maybe he would get cheered over there. Um, you know, and as the celebration will be over there. So maybe that's one. Then I think there's another theory I have, that this just, that maybe what Roman Reigns said on Monday night was kind of a shoot, and that when he got to the building on last Sunday, thinking that he was going to get the title, it wasn't until the very last minute that Vince put him aside and said, "Listen, Lesnar's gonna resign. We're gonna put the title. We're gonna keep the title on Lesnar, for tonight." And so just keep it cool. You're gonna get it soon, but cause that's another thing that could have happened. That it was just a last minute. It wasn't mid match. It was just last minute. And Vince, instead of Vince, telling them the first minute that he came in, he told him at the very last minute, and so that could have been. And then the third theory, which I really hope is not the case. I really hope it's not the case, is that they're keeping the title on Lesnar to have him break Punk's record of being the longest reigning champion in the men's division in the modern era. And to me, I hope that's not the case, because one, that's so petty. I mean, it's so petty. It really it's when did it? I mean, I guess actually Vince has always been petty. The wrestling business has always been petty, and everything like that. So I guess that's that's something like that. But it seems to me that that should not even be the case. So whatever. But also, and now here it comes in with maybe this new Roman Reigns problem, right? Because let's say that this is the case, and they are keeping the title on Brock Lesnar to have him break Punk's record, then why are you putting a person that you want to be the guy in another match with Brock Lesnar, that Brock Lesnar is going to win, and just make it seem like that Roman Reigns can't beat Brock Lesnar? Right? Just think about it. It took 6 F5s for Lesnar to beat Reigns. For Lesnar to beat Reigns on Sunday. 6 F5. So I'm not sure what the stipulations are. If it's pinfall, submission, or escape, or something like that. Which, by the way, they gotta do. It has to be either one or the other. You either can win by pinfall, submission, or escape the cage. And if it's escape the cage, there's no reason for a ref to be in there. Anyway, but I mean, it's kind of just. And then once again, it's going to make Roman Reigns seem like he can't get the job done. So then guess what? If Roman Reigns can't get the job done, fans who do like him are going to wonder, well, why do I like him? Why? He can't get the job done. He's had shot after shot at beating Lesnar, and he can't do it. He can't win the big one. He can't beat Brock Lesnar. So so then when the person does beat Brock Lesnar, right? Or when after they beat CM Punk Reigns and Reigns beats Lesnar, then is it gonna be better? I mean, it's they really have this point of making this person that they want to be the guy, almost not be, they really they're almost saying that where we want him to be the guy, but we're not gonna treat him like the guy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We hear you, fans. So he's going to be the guy without being the guy, and what kind of bullshit is that? Like, really? Like, I'm up here. I'm saying, listen, be the guy. Make him the guy. He's the guy you want running the next 10 years. Make him the guy. But do different things with him. Do not make him another John Cena. And I'm sure why. That's one of the reasons why they have him losing so much over the past 16, 20 months. So because they say he's not John Cena. John Cena always won. Roman Reigns loses sometimes. Well, no, that's not working. That's not how it goes. I don't know if there's like a ratio of how many times somebody should win, towards somebody she lose, but I would think that if you are the top guy, First of all, if you're the top guy, you probably shouldn't be wrestling too much anyway. You should probably wrestle twice a month, right? You should wrestle at the pay-per-view event and then wrestle one time on Raw or on SmackDown. You can be there, you can talk, you can do something like that, but you can show up, but but that's another topic for another day. But yeah, throughout the year you should lose maybe once, possibly twice. Depending on who you are. Maybe if you're somebody like someone like Daniel Bryan, you're trying to make him like an underdog. You're trying to make him like the underdog. Yeah, so maybe you would have him lose maybe a few more times to make it feel like how can he, Actually, I wouldn't even think about that. I would maybe have like Daniel Bryan getting attacked and getting beat up. How is he going to survive? I wouldn't have him lose. I would have him get beat up by his opponent. How is he going to handle this? Something like that. So I wouldn't even do that for the underdog. But it's just. So I think we're very close to being we're very close to WWE having a new Roman Reigns problem, and so it's very and one of the reasons why I like. Listen, I'll be very upfront and very honest. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I called this from day one. And some people were saying Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose were going to be like the stars. I called it from day one. I knew Roman Reigns was going to be the guy that they were going to try and make the big guy. And it should. And there is some of it that says, "See, I was right. Right? I could call it." So there's a little bit of that. With this, in my feelings, there's a little bit of that in there. But also, as a wrestling fan, right? As a wrestling fan, there is another part of this that it almost feels like Roman Reigns is getting screwed over, a little bit. It feels like Roman Reigns is, he is supposed to be the guy, but WWE really isn't treating him like it. Maybe they're paying him like it. Maybe and he gets things like it, but they're not treating him like it. And they're doing this so that they can like somehow appease these nut jobs who think they're so entitled to getting what they want, all the fucking time. Then they're not gonna cheer Roman Reigns because he's not the guy that I want you to, I want you to have to be the guy, So it's really it's very, very. It's troubling, and it's a whole lot of everything. So post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys do you guys see that coming? And that actually, and particularly, let me talk to the people who like Roman Reigns. Talk to the people who like Roman Reigns, because I think maybe, you know, talk to you, see if you guys feel this way. Because you guys who don't like Roman Reigns, you're not going to, you're not gonna have any type of agreement. You're just gonna say, well, no, Roman Reigns, he sucks. The reason why the reason why I don't want him here is because he sucks. So the reason why I don't want him is because he can't wrestle, and all that's bullshit. And you know it. You know it. You look at deep inside yourself. You know it. There's no way you can look at Roman Reigns and think that first of all, that he sucks, or that he's bad, he's overrated, or anything like that. No. But I'm talking about for the folks that do like Roman Reigns. Is that what you see? You know, are you see? Do you see what I'm getting at? Where you can come upon having a problem of where we can have this guy who's supposed to be the guy, but not really be the guy, and he's almost treated as if he's just another guy, and he isn't the guy. So, post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.